Now we're going to take a look at exercise 11-4. So refer to the data in 11-3. Assume that Vancouver's sales by major market are as follows. So in 11-3 here, we were broken down by Toronto and Vancouver. Now they're taking Vancouver's information here, and they're breaking it down again by construction and landscaping. The company would like to initiate an intensive advertising campaign in one of the two markets during the next month. The campaign would cost $8,000. Marketing studies indicate that such a campaign would increase sales in the construction market by $70,000 or increase sales in the landscape market by $60,000. In which of the markets would you recommend that the company focus its advertising campaign? Show computations. All right, so before we move over to the solution, so we're going to take note. Contribution margin for construction is 35%. Contribution margin for landscaping clients is 50%. Okay, so we're going to increase sales, or predicted to increase sales at least, by $70,000 for construction and $60,000 for landscaping. We multiply that by the contribution margin, because as sales increase, so will the variable expenses, so the contribution margin should remain the same. So that means we'll have an increased contribution margin of $24,500 for construction clients or $30,000 for our landscaping clients. Then from there we have to deduct the cost of the campaign, which is $8,000 under both, and that will tell us then how much our segment margin and operating income will increase. So it's going to increase more here, $22,000 under landscaping. So if you're going to spend the $8,000 to increase advertising to increase sales, it's better spent under the landscaping division. Then in exercise 11-3, Vancouver shows $90,000 in traceable fixed expenses. What happened to the $90,000 in this exercise? So back here, traceable fixed expenses for Vancouver were $90,000. Now they're $72,000 traceable, and common is $18,000. So the total fixed expenses are still $90,000 for Vancouver. But what we were saying here is that for the total company, they could trace $90,000 of those fixed expenses to Vancouver. But once they're in Vancouver and they allocate out to construction and landscaping, only $72,000 can be allocated out to each one of these markets. $18,000 is common just to Vancouver. So they have it explained here. $90,000 is now partly traceable and partly common. So $72,000 are traceable, so they could be advertising, salaries, something that arises just because of one of those two divisions, construction and landscaping. So a traceable is if we got rid of one of those divisions. Let's go back. If you got rid of construction, then $20,000 in fixed expenses would disappear. If you got rid of landscaping, then $52,000 in fixed expenses would disappear. But $18,000 here can't be allocated to them. If you got rid of one or the other of these divisions, this $18,000 wouldn't change. And again, if you were to take then landscaping or construction, one of these markets, and break it down even further, then the traceable fixed expenses that are shown here then would be broken down likely into traceable and common again.